Hey, what's up, guys? All right, I know that a lot of you out there have set a New Year's resolution to buy a house in 2020. And since this is the time where all your relatives and your friends are asking what your resolutions are for 2020, some of them are going to come in and tell you that buying a house is not a good investment because they heard from Grant Cardone or somebody else that buying a house is not a good investment. Now, there's a lot of reasons where people may not want to buy a house, and that may make sense. There are some arguments out there to be made in relation to the idea that if you own a home, you're kind of stuck in a geographical location, and therefore your job opportunities can be limited. I guess there's some logic to be had in that. But when people make the argument that it's not a good financial investment, they're just wrong. There's no way that the math works out in their favor. Now, what you'll usually hear them say is, okay, you bought a house, it's appreciating at a 6% appreciation level if you're lucky. I can get 8, 9, 10 plus percent in the stock market, mutual funds, anything along those lines. But what they're failed to realize is it's not about the actual level of appreciation on the property, it's about return on your investment. So let me show you an example of why this is crazy. So let's take a $400,000 house. Okay, let's say you put down 5%, right? It's not 20. You don't have to put down 20, and it's not the minimum of 3%. We'll just use a 5% minimum. Let's say you pay $5,000 in closing costs at the same time, and let's say you own the home for 9 years. According to the National Association of Realtors, the average time of a home being owned is 9 years. So we're going to pick California. Let's pick Solano County. And what you'll see in Solano County is that the historical appreciation rate is 6.76%. Now, a lot of people are going to go, yeah, well, that's high. That's fine. The forecasted appreciation rate is 6.12%. A lot of your friends and family who are going to poo-poo real estate are going to say that also is high. So for math's sake, let's just take it in half. Let's say a 3% level of appreciation, and let's see what happens, right? So if we hit calculate, what you're going to see here is an estimated level of appreciation on your $400,000 home over a 9-year window. So as you can see, the green level is a 3% appreciation. The blue level is the 6.12% estimated level of appreciation, and the purple is the historical level of appreciation. So as we move up after 9 years, let's use this worst case scenario of 3% appreciation. I won't say worst case, but conservative level. Your $400,000 house is now worth $521,909. If you look at historical levels in Solano County, your $400,000 house is now worth $720,671. So it could be anywhere in between there. Now, you have to say to yourself, okay, I put down $5,000, right? Like you paid $5,000 in closing costs, not counting your down payment, which we'll talk about in a minute. So you got to take that out because you paid $5,000 to even start this investment. So by the moment you take keys to the house, you're $5,000 in the hole, right? Because your house is not appreciated from that quickly. But after 1 year, you've not only made that $5,000 back, but you've made an additional $7,000 or $22,000, depending on which of these percentages you want to believe. And at the end of 9 years, you've made anywhere from $117,000 to $315,000 after your $5,000 is taken into account. So if you then take that into account, if you then add the 5% down that you put in, remember that's not a cost, that's your money you will get back at some point. But let's just do that, right? So you took the 5% down plus the $5,000 in closing costs. Let's talk about the return on your actual investment, right? So the actual amount you put in was $20,000 for your down payment plus an additional $5,000 in closing costs. So you're $25,000 out of pocket. After 9 years, in the worst case scenario, your $25,000 that you put in returned $117,000 in appreciation, leaving your return on investment of 584%. Okay, so if we say that 584%, and you divide that over your 9 years, you have a 68% return on investment year over year. What other investment can you make and make 68% return on your money? It's not what you're leveraging your loan to get the massive appreciation on the actual value of the home. So that's not your money. You're paying interest on it, sure, that's fine, but you're also going to be paying rent, which is going to go up every year. Your mortgage is going to stay fixed. And yet at the end of the year, your $25,000 investment, and which really is a $5,000 investment because it was the only cost that you did take the loan, but your $25,000 has increased itself by 585% over 9 years. That's a 68% return on investment in a conservative estimate. If you take the historical amount, you're at 178% return on your investment year after year. That's an insane number, and it's one that cannot be touched by any other investment that I'm aware of. If you know of one, please let me know because I would like to get in it. So if 2020 is your year and you want to buy a house and you want to find somewhere to park your money that historically is very safe, yeah, there's some ups and downs, of course, there are in the stock market, as there are in the bond market and everything else. If you want to do that and you want to do this exercise with me, I'm more than happy to do it with you one-on-one, and we can talk about your situation. You can get into a house for almost nothing. There's down payment assistance programs. There's all kinds of stuff out there, especially for first-time buyers. Call me. I would be more than happy to help you, and hope you guys are having a terrific day. Thanks.